Hi guys, I'm Mario Fratto and this is Making the Case. While I firmly believe that Donald Trump will be reelected this fall, this is the first time that Joe Biden's actually the betting favorite. It's also the first time that Donald Trump's been down consistently by double digits, 10, 12, and 14 points. While I don't believe these polls based on 2016, and I don't think anybody should, it's at least worth considering the thought that Donald Trump might lose or that he's at least behind now. What's interesting is in those polls, it shows that people who say they're voting for Joe Biden, less than 1 out of 3 of those people actually say they're voting for Joe Biden, and 2/3 of those people say they're just voting against Trump. But when you contrast that with Donald Trump voters, it's the exact opposite. Over 2/3 of those people say that they're voting for Donald Trump. Now, we know when Trump holds rallies, his voters will wait outside those rallies for days sometimes in the cold and in the rain, but Biden's lucky to even fill a McDonald's at this point. So it's one thing to tell people over the phone that you're going to vote for somebody. It's quite another thing to actually get out and vote for that person. So we'll really have to wait and see who turns out. So if we do entertain the thought of Joe Biden winning this fall, what would his administration look like? Biden would most likely be a puppet of the left. He'd probably fill his administration with radicals like Bernie Sanders, Liz Warren, Ilhan Omar maybe, or AOC. Now, you see what's going on in these Democratic cities across America. That would probably be the new normal under a Biden administration. You would see political correctness, lawlessness, and most cities would probably look like war zones. Donald Trump could sit back for the next 4 years and basically say, "I told you so." He could appear on news programs, he could still hold rallies, and he could keep his campaign infrastructure in place, just preparing for another run in 2024. And if you think about it, in 4 years, Donald Trump would be the same age that Biden is right now. After 4 years, if America was willing to elect somebody Biden's age to be basically a one-term president, then I don't think the country would have any problem electing somebody like Donald Trump, who would be a former president, especially after the nightmare of what a Biden presidency would have been for 4 years. Teddy Roosevelt was the last former president to run after serving once before, but he failed to even secure the Republican nomination back in 1912, and he never ran again. But before Teddy Roosevelt, back in the 19th century, Grover Cleveland was elected president. He lost his re-election campaign and then ran again and won. So he was the first person who was actually elected president in 2 discontinuous terms. So that made him the 22nd and the 24th president of the United States. And it's worth noting that when he lost in his campaign for re-election, he actually won the popular vote but lost the Electoral College. So he won the popular vote 3 times in a row. If Trump were to run and win in 2024, he'd make history as only the second person to be president in 2 discontinuous terms. Trump would end up being the 45th and 47th president of the United States. So we know that this has happened before. And after a Biden presidency, if we even have a country left, the demand for a president like Donald Trump would be through the roof. However, I really think that Donald Trump will be reelected this fall. But on the off chance that he isn't, we might actually have 8 years of Donald Trump to look forward to. Guys, if you like this video, please like, share, subscribe, and stay tuned for more. Thanks, guys.